Millilith are watching our every move now. These are desperate times. We mustn't act rashly.
Desperate times?
The Adepti of Joyun Karst are finally on the move.
Do they intend to exercise force?
Most likely. I've heard that some members of the Qixing have already gone to meet them. Well, I say meet, but it's more like they're attempting to stall the Adepti outside the city. However, both sides were quite obstinate and hit an impasse.
It seems inevitable, given the current situation.
The Adepti do not acknowledge the Qixing. They only acknowledge the contracts of the Geo-Archon. If the two sides come to blows, Liyue Harbor will be in no position to stop them.
Surely the Liyue Qixing are not the sort to give in so easily.
Their boneheadedness is known throughout the lands. Yet it...
And what now? How is...
That's all She proclaimed that in these tumultuous times, the Millilith must rein in the actions of the Fatui. Only now do they want to start keeping tabs on us? Anyway, Mr. Zhongli, you're one of Childe's close associates. Please understand that your actions will reflect on us. Don't let anyone catch you off guard.
It looks like things are about to boil over in Liyue Harbor.
Do you intend to use your neutral identity as an intermediary between both sides? Neither path is an easy one.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Zhongli, we've heard that the Wangsheng funeral parlor has also been caught up in all of this.
Things are taking a turn for the worse. I'm afraid I must leave now to handle things back at Wangsheng funeral parlor. I hope that Master Hu has been able to keep things under control for the moment. Consider your next course of action carefully, traveler. If you're trying to prevent an explosion, it may be wisest to look for the...
Having connections with the Fatui seems to be quite the double-edged sword. So what does Zhongli mean by looking for the fuse? Oh, Paimon gets it! If there's anyone that wants to see the whole city turned... He must be waiting for the moment when no one is watching to do something... But where could we find him now? Where would he go at a time like this? Wow! This is the Golden House? It looked impressive enough from the outside, but who would have guessed that it was even fancier on the inside? And so full of mora. This is where all of Teyvat's mora is minted, right? In that case, maybe they won't notice if a few mora go missing. Oh, so it's a trap! Tricky, tricky. Good thing Paimon's got you here. But even if we can't take any, or better yet, take a nap on top of a mountain of mora. It's like a dream come true. Oh, right. Back to it's quiet. Too quiet. Huh? Look! What happened here? Uh-oh. Paimon smells trouble. Quick! We have to go make sure that the Exuvia is all right.
You've already fulfilled your task as guides, so why do you still linger here? Haven't you already seen enough trouble for today?
Huh? Who's there?
If you were Fatui, I imagine that you would be entitled to a generous reward from the Tsaritsa herself. But now, you're nothing but dross, and you're in my way. Where should I start? Well, I've never been one to beat around the bush, you know. But who could have possibly guessed that the god of Geo would mysteriously perish the very moment I arrived in Liyue, and that if it weren't for that lovely little rite of parting ceremony you put together, it would have taken me a whole lot longer to get the information. Stopping the Mora mints, hiding away the Exuvia. The Chising are really pulling out all the stops this time.
So you've been planning to take the Gnosis from inside the Exuvia all along?
As one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers, it's my duty to see the will of the Tsaritsa fulfilled. She will get that which she desires. I'm not asking for your blessing, and there's nothing you can do to stop me anyway. The time for discussion and diplomacy has already passed. I mean, if it were up to me, I would have skipped that stage to begin with. Either way, we now come to my favorite part. A simple pleasure, and one that I am oh so delighted to be sharing with you. The battle.
Battle? So you're the type that goes looking for trouble, huh?
You could say that. When Signora offended the deities outside the cathedral in Mondstadt, she swiftly left the scene once her mission was accomplished. Instead of confronting you directly, she chose to rely on the snow and ice to make her escape. She wouldn't want the knights to come running towards the sound of battle now, would she? When she faces a worthy opponent, she will prioritize her mission, weigh the outcomes, and consider the consequences of her actions. But as for me, the greatest pleasure of being a harbinger lies in crossing blades with strong opponents.
We won't let what happened in Mondstadt ever happen again!
Oh, so you intend to fight me? Good. I won't kill you, Traveler. I'll just play along, to feel the thrill of battle. Besides, you could never defeat me, not even in your wild... Fighting talk, I love it! Now let's see you live up to it. This chance is hard to come by, so show me all you've got. So very few ever get the chance to square off with a Fatui Harbinger. So come now, amuse me, and don't you dare disappoint. Cowering already?
Take cover!
Celestial Voyager!
That's gonna hurt in the morning. Off we go.
So quick to free.
Ow! I'm going in!
How unbecoming.
Let's light it up!
Try this. 4 times. Cool it!
This moment will be frozen in time.
You've made some progress. Cowering already? Freeze! Passable effort.
Let the show begin.
Celestial Voyager!
Time to fight back.
Let's light it up!
Run all you like!
I'll protect us. Prepare to be blown away!
Cowering already? You've made some progress. Guess I should take you more seriously. Haha, good. No wonder Signora was so wary of you. Well, that just means I can go all out. Brace yourself. This is about to get tough. Now, Show me what you can do against the might of a harbinger.
Get out of here! Take cover!
Let the show begin.
Time to fight you hiding back there.
Huh?
Raging tide. Break. This. This doesn't look good. I'll crush you.
Let's dance.
All you do is
Let's
run.
light it up! Off we go!
No use hiding back there.
Ready, steady, go!
All you do is run.
Oh no!
This.
Let the show begin. Ouchie!
Break.
Let's light it up!
No use hiding back there.
That's gonna hurt in the morning. I'm going in!
Not bad. Your swordsmanship is quite impressive. But that's about as far as you'll get. Didn't think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
You were just playing us to get close to the Exuvia!
Oh, quiet down. Stop acting like some wide-eyed recruit. You've seen this world. You of all people should know. This should have been expected. Well then, I'll be taking more Axis Gnosis now. Huh? I see. Well, this is most unexpected. You beat me to it, didn't you?
This is going to cost you! to the gnosis ahead of me, didn't you? Did you simply move faster? Or did you leak the information regarding the Golden House to me on purpose? No matter. And the gnosis over. Now, don't make me take it from you.
We didn't take it!
Let's light it up! Let's light it up! Adventure time! Let's light it up! Off we go!
I'll protect us.
Ow! Why do they never miss? Let's light it up! Off we go! Let's light it up! Adventure time!
Die here.
Ah! Teamwork is dreamwork! Ow! Off we go! Ah! Why do they never miss? Off we go!
Let's dance. Let the show begin.
Let's light it up!
Die.
Let's dance.
Windblade! Be gone! That's gonna hurt in the morning! Everybody stand back!
dull mortal.
Ouchie! I'll protect us.
Let's light it up! Adventure time!
Die here.
Let the show begin.
I'm going in!
Let's dance.
You're a cut above.
Look! Child's back to normal again!
Well then, time to cool off. It seems the burden of the foul legacy transformation was too great for my body. I lacked the opportunity to think this through. And now that I consider the matter more carefully, you never had any chance of beating me to the Gnosis. You had no connection to the Gnosis, no matter where it had been taken.
That's what we've been trying to tell you! We didn't take it!
Your show of ability today far surpasses that of Signora's initial assessment of you in Mondstadt. Tell me, how could that be? You already know the answer, don't you? I can see it in your eyes. But if that is a secret you wish to keep, I guess I'll just have to curb my curiosity. This battle has already left me satisfied. Anyone who strives as I do to grow stronger shall be called a friend, even if our friendship can only be shown in battle against one another.
Pretty sure that's not the normal way to make friends.
Unfortunately, I must bring this amiable conversation to an end. My quest still beckons. Given that the Gnosis wasn't taken by anyone, then we must look once again to the beginning. Perhaps it was... In fact, it might be that the Exuvia was...
What? So you mean that...
Yes, it appears so. It seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce is also... As such, we must...
Backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this, for the weak will be swept. The truth is, the world belongs to those who pursue strength. Unfortunately, we cannot be picky about our methods as Fatui harbingers. Children must all learn to eat their vegetables sometime.
So what are you planning to do?
I will awaken the god that lies dormant beneath Guyon's stone forest.
A god?
Osile, overlord of the Vortex, who was defeated by Morax, the GR Archon in the Archon War. If such an ancient god were to be unleashed upon Liyue Harbor, defenseless without the... Do you think the cunning Rex Lapis would just...
But the Archon War ended 2,000 years ago.
Simple. I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Hey! Those are sigils of permission! Oh, Paimon remembers now! The Fatui have been researching them!
Indeed. The one that was given to you was just a byproduct of our research. With the power of so many sigils of permission concentrated in one place, along with that which was bestowed upon me as a harbinger by our Tsaritsa, breaking the subduing might of the Geo-Archon spears for... Using the powers of ancient gods in such a situation fails to... But knowing that such an action will not only force the Geo Archon to show its hand... Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Liyue, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
Huh? He's already gone. That guy is fast. What's going on? If we hadn't happened to see the Jade Chamber flying over just as we came out of the Golden House, we really wouldn't have... Did we make it in time? Is the Overlord of the
What are you doing here?
Huh? Hold on. It's the Adepti. What are you doing on the Jade Chamber? Paimon thought you were arguing with the Chising. Is the fighting over?
Faced with a calamity of such magnitude, we have agreed to put our differences aside for now.
Oh, Paimon gets it. So how do you plan to defend Liyue? Just seeing this Overlord of the Vortex...
It's not just you. We've got new Millilith recruits who can't even stand at attention without shaking. Which is why we must stop that monster before it gets any closer.
So the Archon War was fought 2,000 years ago against enemies like that thing? So will the power of the Chising, Millilith, and Adepti gathered here be enough to stop that god?
We've already discussed this together, and our conclusion is... not necessarily.
What? But all of you were supposed to be the guardians of Liyue. Can't you think of something?
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Chising did once research the matter of the Guizhong ballista when it piqued their fancy. And as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong ballista with one's own hands is here. For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet it would take one, but a little tinkering to turn this ballista into an...
I suppose this is one blessing from the Adepti that we should be thankful for. So be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhong ballista to fight off that god. All the Adepti here can lend their strength to man it. We haven't a moment to spare. Our battle... Yep.
3 Adepti are manning the Guizhong Ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work.
All able Millilith, with me!
Let's go help too!
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you? One wishes to witness.
Cool it!
Time to fulfill my duty. No slacking off!
Windblade!
Freeze! Cool it!
Let's light it up!
Run! Well, neither can I.
Not breaking a sweat!
Don't be a killjoy. We've only just begun. That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be careful not to get hit.
The Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
How daring. Smash and I's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
End this quickly!
Put your back into it!
Freeze!
The ancient gods attacking again! There are so many Fatui too! We can't
Were you about to say we can't hold them, children? Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
This is adeptal energy! That light from your body, it's like that time in Julian Cars! Wow, it's Madame Ping's shockwave! This granny's really strong!
Put your back into it! Descend!
Windblade! Yeah!
Not breaking a sweat! No, you're not going anywhere! Cold cut platter!
With the blood of the Chilean, I guard you against evil! Cast your fear of injury by the wayside, and fight with all your might! I too did this during the Archon War!
So this is what Ganyu's like in a fight!
My name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
We're going too fast!
Adventure time! Get out of here!
Child, you're strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
We'll be frozen.
Yes, this is it.
Dodge this!
Prepare to be blown away! worst to come, right?
Let's light it up!
Not my work! Finished!
Oh, so sorry.
Let's move.
Come on, we can do it.
This first! Have a load of this!
Let me amuse myself.
Let's watch this!
The systems.
Wingblade! The Fatui's numbers are thinning!
Fight on, comrades! Once we finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace.
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
It's working! We just need to keep this up!
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade. The effects of the Sigil of Permission last but a short time. It will be some time before the Overlord of the Vortex can make any way.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here, the future of Liyue Harbor would surely have been in great...
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten the reason for which we came.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting us... At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion, it is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a business... Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice deserves at least some recognition, don't you agree?
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage. Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here today. But please forgive us. We cannot yield to your wishes.
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to protect Liyue. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it... But that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see...
Forebears, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream.
What?
In the dream, I yearned to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. Each passing generation of the Qixing leaves many things of value to be inherited by the next generation. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world, establishing a network of contracts which has since come to be known as trade. But I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence until the moment I awoke.
Oh, Ningguang.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
Right! That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds and the people of the Animal Archon. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both.
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has...
All right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens? I know I already have, so why not see for yourselves?
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millelith. I have come... I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as I feared we might be. Although I am a mere mortal soldier, I promise...
Huh? Why does everyone look so down? Didn't we just beat that big monster?
Weren't you frightened, dear? It was quite the predicament.
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millelith guards were there, and those powerful heroes with their... When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty snacks and loads of things that make the harbor so pretty. Thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please come visit us for the next lantern ride.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. It must be hard being an Adeptus. Aww.
You see, this is what Liyue is like today. The country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection, but it is... Although their blood is weak, there is still strength to be found in those we call mortals. The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is the time of contracts between Liyue and its people.
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so, Cloud Retainer?
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, conqueror of demons.
Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. The city of Liyue has changed much after our long separation. One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, fair enough. Away we shall, and return whence we came.
Since we Adepti have consensus, then one shall persist no further. But how will we ensure that the Liyue Qixing will not simply
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this...
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. Oh, right! It's nice that we've got peace and... Child wanted to unleash the god so he could lure Rex Lapis out. But we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own, so Rex Lapis never showed up. Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the bottom of that Archon's death, too? Paimon doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adepti-less rite of parting that we're organizing? No idea where Zhang Li's going. Let's ask for him at Wangshan Funeral Parlor. Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Wangsheng Funeral Parlor isn't in the best state to receive guests. We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please tell him we're here? Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment. Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Fatui? Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the... Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? We had better go and make sure...
Cuisine will surely prevail in this year's Masterful Chefs.
You call this cooperation between Harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the... Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child, and...
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city... Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget what...
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map. This is certainly a bit awkward, wouldn't you say?
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui Harbinger.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the end. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually, I think...
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm through here. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind. The Gnosis, please.
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled. That which...
How sanctimonious.
What? So you're the Lord of Geo? No, wait. That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the Gnosis to the Fatui?
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter solely between the...
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you and...
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a...
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. It is now 3,700 years ago that I founded Liyue together with the Adepti. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. Until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his... I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself...
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age. So I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Childe, the Adepti, and the Liyue Qixing. That's right. Which is why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis until now.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply...
Of course. And it would have been all too easy for him, too. Just as a child quickly matures after...
In the end, the resolution to all that has transpired... Take the Adepti, for instance. Owing to their years of seclusion, they were the least informed. Yet when faced with a crisis, they commendably showed the greatest amount of restraint possible. Credit is also due to Signora, the emissary dispatched by the Cryo Archon to fulfill our contract. At my request, she kept everything. This meant I could remain as Zhongli, even having the chance to fulfill the age of... All of these things turned out as I had planned. There is only one thing that I had not anticipated, and that was... I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti. They seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly...
Huh? That doesn't sound good at all!
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me. And it was also...
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You've practically...
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. The Lord of Geo ought to thank you for your performance, if you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo Archon,
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight? Hey, haven't you learned the Liyue saying, don't always call it as you see it?
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zapolyarny Palace and seek an audience with Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa.
Fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not sharing a...
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is...
Realistically speaking, there...
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, my agreement with the Cryo-Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance, uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we've spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
Well, since we're going through with this rite of parting... So Rex Lapis is really... Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person? You know what, There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that Fatui fellow. The Fatui? They certainly are very suspicious. Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you in their sights, Rex Lapis won't be around to protect you this time.
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean, it's been 2,000 years.
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the heels of...
Say, do you think the person who assassinated our lord and released...
Now that you mention it, that's very possible. I mean, it all fits together. That person must have colluded with the evil god to harm Rex Lapis. Still, what sort of supernatural prowess must this person possess to be able to do such?
Ah, forget it. Guessing's no use to us. Look, the Millilith over there looks like he's about to make an announcement.
Hear ye all! The Chi-Sing's words. Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. Gods and Adepti live glorious lives, but both light and rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. He beseeches the people of Liyue to grieve not, nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon needs a translation. translation on what the cheesing... So that's how they're spinning it. Something feels off. Why would they give up looking for the... Could the cheesing already have known that Rex Lapis... Did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis? Exactly, right? Ooh, seems like the... Are they saying something?
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to...
3,700 years of contracts burned.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous. But blinded by our prosperity, we forgot that time can be pitiless.
The long, unending dream of our Archon walking among us.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, will you stand with us as we re-establish our contracts? As we build a new age of prosperity?
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking this way?
Traveler.
Yikes! She really is looking our way!
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young!
The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see far. Name your price. You deserve that much.
Whoa!
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
I didn't know you were such a slacker.
As for the mortals and adepti of Liyue, what...
I'd put my best perfume on coming here thanking you. But it seems as if those perfumes really were meant to be offered to Rex Lapis. Well, that's fine. Suffer no rivals in love, they say. And that's 3 gone in one stroke.
Rex Lapis. Now that I think about it, perhaps momentos for Rex Lapis might be the best short-term business opportunity.
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this. Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions, thinking that they'll never see Rex. And here you are looking all relaxed.
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have borne for... Right, if the two of you can spare the time.
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout.
You're right. I do like the Mora. As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should have... When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an...
Oh, no wonder! Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending because you've never had... But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming...
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could. No matter... I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli, traveling the street. That is true. But there is no...
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and...
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently... Yes, the nation has been closed by order of its deity, the Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among locals in Inazuma.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before. Right?
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun of Inazuma, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Paimon does... Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening?
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of power. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and... This is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed...
Uh-huh. That's how people in Teyvat see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision Hunt Decree.
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to...
They want to seize visions? But why? Aren't visions...
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessings.
Whoa, that's harsh.
The Animo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate the fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away. Will only... Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most... 7 ideals for 7 gods. And of these, eternity is nearest unto the heavenly prince. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
Yeah, about that. Before the Qixing made their announcement, we listened to a...
These are indeed false accusations. But it remains undeniably true that Childe did send people to the Jade Chamber to prevent the Adepti and the Qixing from defeating the ancient god. I've heard that Ningguang is busy milking that for all it's worth on the foreign relations front at the moment, browbeating the those poor Snezhnayan diplomats. If it were not for Childe's exalted position as a harbinger, I'm certain that... All right then. Was there anything else you wished to know? Ah, that was a good one. Failing a divine trial. That said, the reason why the Qixing were so eager to resolve the incident and stop pursuing the culprit was indeed because they received news in secret that Rex Lapis was not dead. I hinted as much to the Adepti as well. How did I accomplish that, you ask? Have you ever heard of this particularly convenient Adepti art known as gifting dreams and visions? All right then. Was there anything else you wished? The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even Kuching is absolutely right in saying that. Now, though I did laud Ningguang's desire for power, believing this to be a good thing, and thought as a... Could the original person who brought up the idea of seizing power have... All right then. Was there anything else you wished to know?
That's right! Zhongli, now that you don't have your gnosis, what's going to happen to all the Mora in Teyvat? Since Morax is dead, are they all just... Also, isn't the Golden House the only mint...
The Mora present now will not vanish. But the Golden House will indeed have to cease operations for a lengthy period.
This is terrible!
Yes, this is indeed a major issue from... Well, I suppose we'll...
Then, did you at least set some private funds
Oh, a private fund.
What's a shame?
It's a shame that I didn't think of it at the time. All right then. Was there anything else you wish? Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this closed nation.
Children, come, come. You've arrived at just the right moment. I've been looking for you.
What is it, Granny? Need any help?
Oh, no. In fact, my old friends and I have been putting our heads together to think of what sort of gift we might give you in return.
Gift? For Paimon?
child. You are so very modest. Uncommonly so, even. But you mustn't decline this gift. I simply won't allow it. When you traversed my old teapot in search of the cleansing bell, I heard your little friend mention that you often camp out in the wilds. That simply won't do. Fortunately, I have not yet grown so old as to see my subspace creation ability. Oh, did my friends never mention that to you? Well then, it is a blessing we old folks once received from Rex. I will not go into too much detail, but subspace creation is the ability to create a small, autonomous pocket world. The teapot that you entered previously was a little trick.
So, in the eyes of an adeptus, creating a magic teapot world is just child's play.
Oh, indeed, the teapot is nothing to boast of. One such as myself must depart from this realm to create a world of one's own. But that's enough nostalgia for now. The gift that I have prepared for you.
That's right! Finding stuff's what we're good at!
Oh, settle down now, children. There's no need for you to go running hither. What's more, I doubt that you would know how to... Well, for starters, I require some shimmer soil from the... You would have to dig downward, following the... But almost no one has been able to find shimmer soil in this manner. Even more difficult to find is smaragdus jadeite, which must be chiseled from the rock of the chasm. Or so it used to. In any case, smaragdus jadeite is an adepti treasure, and the adeptal power within is not something that most humans can Goodness knows if that child will succeed in...
Well, since you're an adeptus, Granny...
Yes.
She counts? How come there are so many adepti in Leo?
Oh, maybe so. Who can say?
I'm back, Granny. Oh, I don't believe we've met.
Allow me to do the honors. This child here is Yen Fei. She's the one helping run some errands for me. Yen Fei, I believe you've already heard of the traveler and her traveling companion.
Of course, who hasn't? Much has been written about you in the Millilith's records. You became one of Liua's most wanted after the Millilith marked you as a suspect following the incident at the Rite of Dissension. Before finally defeating an ancient god together with Granny and her associates, and subsequently being cleared of any and all suspicion. A shame that we didn't meet sooner. If we had, well, I can't say that I would have been able to clear you of suspicion immediately, but it certainly would. Allow me to introduce myself once more. I'm Yenfei, a legal advisor. Got a legal problem? You can come right to me. Oh, yes, here's my business card. You'll find it has my contact details and office address. Keep it handy. If you have an urgent issue, just leave me a note at this address. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, I offer a very generous discount for
All right, Yenfei, all right. Let's get to the business at hand. You'll have to excuse Yenfei. She's always been like this.
Paimon was gonna ask the same question.
An adeptus? I guess. Kinda. My old man said he was one anyway. He mentioned that he once campaigned with Rex Lapis for a long old time, and then after that they had me, and once I was all grown up, the two of them upped and left on a journey.
Well, that's a bit casual for an adeptus. Aren't you guys supposed to sign solemn
Well, my dad did say that he'd talked it through with Rex Lapis, and that he was fine with it. Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. So, Granny, I've gotten a hold of most of the stuff you asked for, except for smaragdus jadeite. I couldn't find any at all. The chasm's been sealed off, and there's just no way in. Couldn't secure any documentation either.
Is that so? Yenfei, are you sure you can't find?
I know, Granny, you've told me 1,000 times already. Well, the chasm's
Whoa, that's a really thick book.
Commercial consultancy. Or Snezhnaya. Ah, found him. Crossel. A Snezhnayan merchant who once came to me with some legal queries on certain articles in the legal codices. He mentioned that he was considering acquiring some Smaragdus jadeite to make hairpins, and wanted to know. So, I guess I'll go look for him. With any luck, he'll. Oh, you want to join me? I suppose that's no problem, but it's best if you just stand by and watch.
Wow, an Adeptus imploring us to... Best we be a little more careful than usual.
Hello, Mr. Crossel. How's business been?
Oh, good. Very good. All thanks to your advice, Miss Yanfei. What brings you here today?
You're too kind. I was simply doing my job. Now, I believe that...
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, in the end, I did... Miss Yanfei, might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins? I must apologize. I've already...
Wait, isn't Smaragdus jadeite really rare? Aren't you worried about the...
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a contract with Miss Church. The contract makes it quite clear that if she loses or damages the item in question, in return, I included a clause that guarantees the Smaragdus jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of...
Guaranteed genuine? With 10 times the value payable if this claim is...
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need.
In that case, might you know where Miss Xiaochao lives? We'd like to pay her a visit and have a...
Oh, of course. She wrote her address.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Crossel. We'll be off.
I should have stored it.
Buying or not?
Limbs are a requirement for locomotion on land.
Whatever shall I do? Yes, that's me. Is there something I can help you with?
How do you do, Monsieur Chow? We understand from Mr. Crossell that you recently rented a pair of hairpins from him. My associates and I are very interested in them.
The hairpins? I don't know how it could have happened. I spent so much money on them. If I have to pay their original value, My family is in the ore business too, but we now have a backlog of paid-up orders just sitting around. A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several ore merchants I know of will be there. I need this That's what the hairpins were for, But now that I've lost the hairpins...
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of...
Would you really? I sent a commission to the Adventurers Guild.
Hold on. Don't run off looking for the hairpins just yet. Monsieur Chow.
Huh? Well, I mean, sure,
Let me see.
That's right! Yanfei said she's a legal advisor, didn't she? True. Though surely there must be a...
Right. I finished reading the contract. The terms are very clear, and they do indeed... Furthermore, the contract also expressly states that the amount... And given the rarity of Smaragdus Jadeite, I fear that the final...
Even higher? Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Jicho looks like she...
However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed genuine Smaragdus Jadeite that was inlaid in...
Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Whichever way you look at it, we've got to start...
Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be any need to check whether the Jadeite is genuine.
Please. Please, However much it is, I will have to pay it. My family are merchants, after all. It's vital that we keep... Now that it's come to this, I really shouldn't keep Crossell in the dark any...
Yes, legally speaking, it seems this is the most sensible course of action. But so hold on a moment, Monsieur Chow. When you first touched the hairpins, what did you feel?
What did I feel? Well, I remember that the gemstone set in... My family has seen much jade pass through its hands in the past, so...
Smooth to the touch. No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine a few things.
Atmosphere here at Pelea.
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With Miss Jiqiao in tow, too, I see. How are the hairpins? I trust you're quite sad.
About that.
You lost them!
I'm sorry. Truly, I am.
Mora! Do you have any idea what I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back. Since Miss...
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little mark. It was in fact genuine Smaragdus Jadeite inlaid into the hair...
Of course! Genuine article guaranteed, or...
Alright, understood. I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm back, I'll provide an official assessment of the sum owed by Monsieur Chow.
Thank you very much. How could she lose my hairpins? She...
Looks like I'll have to find some way to raise that money.
Please wait, Monsieur Chow. I have something to discuss. It's not convenient to speak here, so let's find somewhere that we can sit and...
Miss Yanfei, what is this about? Are you here to tell me how much I owe?
No. What I wanted to talk about is, there is a chance that the ore inlaid on those hairpins may not be Smaragdus.
What do you mean? Are you...
Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone a member of the guild. I don't run thankless I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus jadeite is found deep. If mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And Mr. Chow, did you at any time feel unwell?
No, not at all.
Now that is strange. If I've deduced correctly, he may still have this.
If that's the case, we should go confront him right now!
Absolutely not. If we were to confront him now, there's no way. And then he'd throw the Smaragdus jadeite. After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow. Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying that the hairpins.
So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be.
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of.
Well then, since you're so experienced and.
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first, Miss.
Huh? Does there have to be a contract for everything? It feels like Yanfei is even more.
These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything prior to now, anywhere commissioned but not bound by a contract, cannot be relied.
I understand. Then I will be glad.
No problem. Just sign here, and I'll sign too. Okay. And I'll also need your signatures on pages 5.
This contract has so many pages.
All right, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract.
I've had to read.
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy. Not for now, no. Despite how intractable this problem might... I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like this before, in which case, hopefully this should be quite the experience.
Miss Yanfei, I have to ask...
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smaragdus jadeite myself. I noticed whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate... Also, the idea of someone abusing the... But again, let's not dwell on this. Let's go to... Ah, I've got it. Let's pay a visit to Chateau, the boss of the Jade Mystery. He is a professional when it comes to working with stone and ore. If Mr. Crossell had his ore worked on at all, should...